There are roughly 2 billion Muslims around the world, different races, different languages, different cultures, but when it comes to prayer, 5 times a day, they all turn to face the exact same direction. And that direction is the Kaaba in Mecca. But have you ever wondered why? Do Muslims worship the Kaaba? If God is everywhere, why is it necessary to face one specific direction? Today, we aren't relying on rumors. We're diving straight into the facts, the history, and the core philosophy of Islam to understand why Muslims pray toward the Kaaba. First, let's get one thing clear. The direction Muslims face during prayer is called the Qibla in Arabic. The most fundamental principle of Islam is Tawhid, the belief that God is one without any physical form or fixed location. The Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 2-115, clearly states, "To Allah belong the east and the west. So wherever you turn, there is the face of Allah." So if God is everywhere, why turn toward the Kaaba? The simplest answer is discipline and unity. Imagine if there was no set direction. People praying in the exact same mosque would be facing all over the place, some facing north, others south. It would create total chaos. The Kaaba acts as a center point, a focal point that unites Muslims all over the globe in a single unified direction. What many people might not know is that in the early days of Islam, Muslims didn't actually face the Kaaba to pray. Originally, the Qibla was Baitul Maqdis, the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and his companions prayed facing Jerusalem while living in Mecca, and even for about 16 to 17 months after migrating to Medina. Then a verse of the Quran was revealed, Surah Al-Baqarah 2-144, commanding Prophet Muhammad to turn his face toward Al-Masjid Al-Haram, the Kaaba. This wasn't just a simple change of direction. It was a historical and spiritual homecoming. It was a return to the very first house on earth built exclusively for the worship of the one God. The Kaaba wasn't a new building. According to Islamic belief, it was first built by the first human and prophet, Adam. But over time, it fell into ruin. Later, Prophet Abraham, recognized as the patriarch of the Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and his son Ishmael rebuilt it under God's command. They established it purely as a center for monotheistic worship. Over the centuries, people began placing idols inside the house, forgetting its original purpose. Prophet Muhammad's mission was to bring back that ancient, pure monotheism. Making the Kaaba the Qibla was essentially re-establishing Prophet Abraham's legacy and absolute devotion to one God. Now, we need to clear up a massive misconception here. A lot of people think Muslims actually worship the Kaaba. That is completely false. Muslims strictly worship the Lord of the Kaaba, God, not the stones or the physical building itself. The Kaaba is merely a direction. The greatest historical proof of this comes from the day of the conquest of Mecca. When Prophet Muhammad secured the city, he commanded Bilal to climb up onto the actual roof of the Kaaba to call the Adhan, the Islamic call to prayer. Think about it. If the Kaaba were an idol or a god to be worshipped, would a human being ever be allowed to stand on top of it? In Islam, worship is exclusively for God, and no human or physical object can ever be divine. Calling the prayer from the roof of the Kaaba was the ultimate proof that while the building is deeply sacred, it is not God. Facing the Kaaba is the ultimate symbol of human equality. When a king and an everyday person stand shoulder to shoulder in a mosque, both facing the exact same center, all worldly pride, ranks, and titles completely vanish. There is no white, no black, no rich, no poor. It's a global network that has been activating 5 times a day for 1,400 years entirely without the internet. One direction, one God, and one united human row. So, what's the takeaway? Muslims don't pray toward the Kaaba because God lives only there. They pray toward it because it teaches discipline, unites Muslims worldwide into a single community, and reminds them of Prophet Abraham's sacrifice and absolute devotion to one God. It's not just a direction, it's an identity. Hopefully, this helped you understand the true meaning of the Qibla. If you found this video informative, be sure to share it. Would you like me to add B-roll, visual scene, suggestions for your video editor to match this English script?